All right. So it's Tuesday morning, March 14th. Hi, welcome back for math. Today we're doing 10:05. Quite a few people didn't submit 10:04. So if you're having problems with that one, please contact me and let me know what's going on. Let's take a look at 10:05. You have 2 days for this one as well. So that means today I'd like you to spend most of the time carefully reading the lesson so that when you get to the problems, you're going to understand them. So here was yesterday's volume combinations. Now we're on 10:05, fixing problems due tomorrow, March 15th. So we're going to go into the lesson. The way this works is you need to just be very careful with it. So there are 7 pages to this lesson. You're going to learn how to solve real-world problems, so story problems involving the volume of 3-dimensional figures. So you might say, why do we always have to do these story problems? Well, because guess what? In real life, when I have to decide how big of a house to build or how to fit things in my car, I have to use real world volume. I don't have a problem that's handed to me that says 20 times 30 times 5, right? I have to look at the situation and figure it out for myself, and you guys do too. So let's look at page 2 of this lesson. 10:05, fixing problems, write about it. Find the volume of the rectangular prism below. First, find the volume by multiplying lengths times width times height. Then find the volume by multiplying the area of the base times the height. So what they're saying there is there's 2 ways you can go about this. You can just multiply the 3 numbers together, 3 times 10 times 7, or you can find out the base and then see how many layers are on there. Show your work and solve in your interactive notebook. It's the same answer at 210, and it's really the same problem. Just in this case, you did 10 times 3 times 7. In this one, you did the 10 times 3 first, then times 7. Pretty much same difference. We're learning different ways to find volume. If you were in an in-person school, you'd be doing an activity called the box problem, where you're trying to fill a truck with boxes. So people use volume all the time to figure out how best to package things and ship things. Volume is huge. We want to be as efficient as possible when we're fitting things in so that we can move them easily. When you go to move things in your house, you have to decide how big of a moving van to get. So my son just moved, and he had to decide whether to get a little van, a medium-sized van, or a big one. He got the medium-sized van. He had a lot of extra space. It would have been cheaper, and he probably would have done better to have the small one. But he had a few things that were really long. Emily reviews the moving trucks that are available. She needs to find their volumes. Find the volume of this rectangle by determining the total number of cubic inches that fit in the prism. So if you were doing this, they say find the number of cubic inches in the first layer. The one thing I've seen kids do is count the lines instead of counting the tiles. You want to be careful to count the tiles, because if you count the lines, it will be wrong. Like if I were counting the lines on this bottom side, I would count the edge 1, the first line 2, the second line 3, the third line 4, and the last line 5, and say that there were 5 blocks, but there aren't, are there? There are only 4. It's a 4 by 4. So you're really counting the spaces between the lines or the tile. So the first layer is 4 by 4. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. This way, 4 times 4 is 16. And how many layers of 16 do we have? Well, let's count the tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 16, solve it. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 6 is 36. 60 and 36 is 96 cubic inches. We found the total volume, and it should fit her character's things. Great work. So this is no different than what you've been doing, except that we're going to be in story problems. So here's an example. If you didn't have the picture of the ice cream truck, here is the ice cream truck. Let's help Emily find out whether this rectangular prism is more or less than 120 cubic meters. Well, in this case, we're going to have 2 times 7 times 9, and it's perfectly fine to use a calculator, but 2 times 7 is 14. 14 times 9, I'm going to split the 14 up into 10 and 4. 10 nines is 90, and 4 nines is 36. 90 plus 36 is 126. Which is more than 120. Let's check. Here we go. 9 times 2 times 7. 126 cubic meters. We found it was greater. Emily is buying a new fish tank for her fish. Now she knows how to calculate volume. This will make it so much easier. Let's help Emily select the tank with the largest volume. Which tank should she buy? This little low flat one or this tall one? Take a minute and look at this and see what you think. A or B, put it in chat. Do you think she should buy A or B? No cheating by clicking ahead, guys. A or B, I don't see anything in chat yet. Oh, I see one guess in chat. Anybody else? One person says A, one person says B. Which is it? 10 times 5 times 5 equals 10 times 5 is 50 times 5, which equals 250 inches cubed, or 11 times 7, which equals 77 times 3, which equals 3 times 7 is 21, 231. Is that right? Inches cubed. So I'm thinking A. I see most people are saying A. He should buy A, or she should buy A. We need to determine which fish tank. All right, so we have which one? For Prism A, 250. Prism B, 231. You guys chose right. Jim finds 2 blocks of wood. He wants to take the larger block home. So after yesterday, this should be pretty easy because they're giving you the dimensions. You're not having to solve for them. So I think you guys kind of have this. Let's look ahead at the final assignment then. So there's some more steps here where they don't show you the picture. You just have to think about it, but they do label the length, the height, and the width. Going on a trip, need to help calculating volume, total volume. Oh, this one now has a stacked suitcase. So here you're going to do combined volume like you did yesterday. Be careful that you've labeled this appropriately. It looks like they've given you the exact measurements here. Let's see. There's a new mattress with a footrest. We've got 9 by 4 by 4 and 3 by 4 by 2. So again, they've given you all of the measurements. You don't have to solve for anything. But on this one you do. So this bottom one here, number 3, with the park benches, you're going to have to figure out one dimension. So you have the height and you have the width, but you don't have the length here. But you do have it down here that it's 5 feet. So you're going to have to be able to see that that top box is a 2 by 2 by 5. Do you see that that one's a little bit tricky? So you guys already know how to find volume. Now they're just doing it with some story problems. And your final assignment on page 7 that is due tomorrow is called Fixing Problems. It's one of your worksheets in your notebook, so you can do it on paper if you would like to, or you may do it on Kami. Fixing Problems has 1, he buys 2 boxes of chocolate, which is larger. They give you the dimensions. That shouldn't be too bad. It does say show your work, so please show your work here. Don't forget to show your work. I don't want just an answer. If you have to do it on another piece of paper, that's fine. A milk truck is driving around. What's the volume of the milk truck? And they're just talking about the back here. Again, show your work. Jenny puts 2 wooden blocks together. You're going to have to figure out both of them, but they've given you all the measurements. What is the combined volume? So you're going to have to add them together. Jason wants to create a box with the same volume as the one shown. This one's a little tricky. He wants the length to be 4 inches, but have the same volume. So it's like if you rearranged these boxes and cut off this part right here so that it would only be 1, 2, 3, 4 long. And you rearranged these over here. If you move them over and put them on this side or on the top, then what would you come up with? If your length was 4 then what would your width or your height be? So you can either rearrange these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 boxes over here, or you can arrange them on top, whichever works. You have to figure out how you would rearrange those boxes to be only 4 long. Do you guys have a question about that last one? It's a little tricky. Picture if you had all these blocks at home and you could take these remaining 12 blocks and move them over. Would you put them on the side or on the top? 2, 4, 6, 8. If you put them on top, it wouldn't work. How many are on the side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think you're just going to make another layer here, aren't you? So you're going to have to picture how you would do that one, right? How many would there be? It'd be the same number of squares. They would just be arranged differently. You would take them off of here and put them over there. Okay, so it's going to change your dimensions. All right, so that's 10:05. I'm going to make breakout rooms. You can go work. If you have any problems, you're welcome to work with a partner today if you would like to. If you're having any problems, then you can come and tell me and I can help you with that. Please don't just call me though, because I'll be working with kids, so come and ask. Does anyone want a partner? Eli? Okay. So Christian
Can I be with Nora?
Sorry?
Oh, never mind.
Eli and Nora, you want to be with Nora and
No,
Jade?
can I be with
today?
Eli?
Okay. So I can't tell who's saying that, guys. Please ask in chat.
That's Kainoa.
That was Kainoa?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what you said there. So I see Eli, Christian, Nora, and Kainoa and Javen all want partners. So I'm going to have one group of 3. Who thinks that they can get the work done today?
Me.
Okay, so I'm going to put you in a group of 3. Who else would like to be in a group of 3? So let's do Kainoa, Eli, and Javen. Actually, Kainoa, you need to get done because you haven't done the last one. Let me see who else hasn't done 10:04. So Eli and Nora are done. Javen, you're not done. So I'm going to put you with Kainoa because I want you guys to finish 10:04, okay? So I'm going to put Javen with Kainoa. Where are you, Kainoa? 13, and Javen is in room 13. There we go. And then Eli, you're done. So I'll put you with Nora because you guys are both done and can work on this one together. So I'm going to move you to room 6. And then Christian, you haven't finished 10:04. I'm going to send you with Kainoa and Javen to work on that, okay? Room 13. And if you decide you don't want to be in that room and you want to work alone, just come tell me and I'll transfer you. All right. Any other questions? No? Okay. Christian, are you okay? Were you sick yesterday? We missed you.
I'm sick and then some family stuff went on. So
oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I hope you feel better. If you need help with 10:04, it's kind of a hard one. You should ask those guys for some help, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Brianna, how are you doing? Javen in room 13 asked for help already. Where is he? Why is he asking for help already? Oh, because you guys haven't gone there yet. That's what he's asking for help with. He wants you guys to go later. Eli, head to your breakout room.
I don't even see my breakout. Oh, there it is.
Nora, head to your breakout room unless you have a question for me. Good job getting your math done, sweetie.